Good morning. Wow,
My name is
it's good.
Vahid Chitsaz, part of Elite Mastermind Group. Thank you for being on our channel. Let's dive into it. Introduce yourself to everybody, and I got a couple of questions about the book from you.
All right, let's go ahead. Good evening from the UK. It's 6 p.m. here, but good morning to everybody else around the world. My name is Sohail Sheikh, and I'm founder of The Wealth Paradigm. I'm also an entrepreneur. So I have an agency and various online e-commerce stores. So yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Good to have
talk
you.
about my journey.
Let's do it. Think and Grow Rich. When did you start? How did you start with the book?
Oh man, Think and Grow Rich. Wow. I mean, I remember a few years ago when I started this journey, I was recommended this book by many people. But what happened was I was like, yeah, I'm gonna read it. But then what happened was I never read it. Only until about a year ago, actually. That's when I actually decided to, hey, come on, man, I need to get this book. And really, it was a time in my life where, you know, I first started, my entrepreneurial journey. And so there was a lot of pitfalls and a lot of, obstacles I had to overcome. And so, I mean, for me, it was my connection with God, which led me to this book. So then I just, I had the deep inclination towards this book just to get the book. So I bought the book and then I started reading it, and then, whoa, it just blew my mind. Like just the philosophies of Napoleon Hill's work. It's profound, and it's applicable, which I love. And it's not, wishy-washy, think and manifest things in your life. And that's what really what gravitated me towards his work, and also appreciating his work. It's because it has the elements of the mystic, and it also has the elements of true application in business and of any calling in life. So
I agree with that 100%. So let me ask you a question. Which one of the principles are you utilizing the most right now, currently in your life?
Oh man, I mean, there's many principles. Like we can go through the transmutation of sexual desires. We have persistence, organized planning, masterminds. But I think what holds as paramount, and what Napoleon Hill also refers to in the book is the principle of the sixth sense, and that's what Napoleon Hill says is the apex of the philosophy of the book. And why that is so profound is because many people, I mean, when they do endeavor into the success, self-help books or success, they kind of disorientate and they lose the kind of profound essence of certain principles. And so, for example, like what I referred to in the beginning was exactly Think and Grow Rich. So works like The Secret, or the sentiment of positive thinking, where you will manifest things if you just think. And so, I mean, that's what I want to tackle, is because a lot of people fall into this trap. And what happens is, because of the lack of knowledge and the lack of profound understanding and the lack of knowledge of the meanings behind this, they sometimes fall into great distress, or imbalance, great imbalance, because they equate thinking to successes, where the Think and Grow Rich book and its philosophies actually help to break down these principles. So, for example, the sixth sense, which is the creative capacity within ourselves. And Napoleon Hill goes on to say how the creative sense, how it's a receptive instrument to receiving ideas. And also these ideas come from the infinite storehouse of knowledge. And now for me, and for people who believe in God as well, that is very powerful. And what most people, when they endeavor onto self-help books, these concepts start to disengage them from the belief in God, for example, because these are abstract concepts. But for me, as a believer of God, that really brought me down to understanding these are the mechanisms of God's work. And so he will gift one who's in seek of greatness with ideas and creative, through the creative receptive faculty which we have in our minds. And so that's what really holds at the apex, because then from that, everything else trickles down. It's like a trickle down, motion, where then the path unfolds, without worry, without anything. I mean, in the Quran, for example, God says, to have good faith, to have to always think positively, and that's what the Prophet, peace be upon him, Muhammad, that's what he also preached, is to be positive and to think of God in a positive light. And so then God will also receive you in that positive light. So these are
I agree with that. And Napoleon Hill talks about Prophet Muhammad in his book. So that's
exactly why.
He talked about that, the persistency and everything else. And I love your page, because I look at just the wealth paradigm, just the name has the whole internet. I love that. So let me ask you a question. Are you speaking to your team that's creating all your content to have more of Napoleon Hill in your posts? Because I had a little difficulty finding all the quotes from Napoleon Hill in your post. Are you talking to the team? Is that a new plan that's about to happen?
That is the long-term plan, where I plan to put more of, deep, profound quotes and explanations, because I mean the posts right now are just, some of them are deep, some of them are abstract, but yeah, that's the long-term plan. But it's just me at the moment, so I'm actually building a team as well around the wealth paradigm, and that's what the wealth paradigm is about. It's about realizing the inner true wealth, and the paradigm is a mindset. So it's realizing that we have to realize ourselves, and in the process of realizing ourselves, we will open up a paradigm which is limitless, and one which it's one of which is unwavered faith and possibilities, and it's limitless. So that's the wealth paradigm, and I appreciate that you like the name, man.
No, I definitely love the name. It caught my eyes, and I saw the logo and everything else. I was like, okay, this is something I need to look at. So I went through your page, I looked at it, but I was a little bit disappointed that I didn't see too much of Thinkandgrowrich. But I know you got into it. I know it's coming. I know you're just handling it by yourself, single man. I understand that. It's cool, but it's coming. But no, listen, here is the best thing that I tell people. I tell people, it doesn't matter who delivers the message. You got to listen to the message itself. Forget about the messenger. You might like it, you may not like it, you might like this cover, you may not like the cover. It doesn't matter. It might come in a form of PDF, it might come in a small book, big book, a small font, big, doesn't matter. You got to listen to the content. And I'm a big fan of individuals that put good content out there to improve other people's livelihood. Imagine if one of your quotes on one specific day reaches one person that needed to see that. It's not about how many thousands of people saw it. That's irrelevant. That one guy needed to see that message for that day to change something, to have that paradigm shift and be able to do what they need to do for their livelihood. So to me, it's like we'll look at the grand scale of things. How many people Dr. Hill's has changed their lives, and this book has probably made more millionaires than billionaires on this planet than any other book. We're not talking about religious book. Holy books are completely different, but we're talking about self-development. But here's the best part though. If you read these self-development books, it makes you to become a better person. If you become a better person, you will probably get closer to your creator, however you want to call that, whoever that person you believe in, and indirectly you're going to become a better person for everybody around you. So it doesn't necessarily mean you have to go read a holy book to become a holy person. You could read this and just become a better person by 1% more, and that's going to have effect in our community. So it's very, very cool that you mentioned it. And this is what I told some of my agents, Sohail, the other day. I said, listen, we're not trying to change the world. That's a very, very grand scale. We're not going to get there. Not in my lifetime. But I said we're going to do one thing. If we help and have a hand in helping our own center of influence, our own community. If I change one community, I did my job. Let's not just go, I want to go change the whole entire of UK, California, New York. I'm not like, listen, let's just get very, very macro on this. Let's change our own city. If we accomplish that, that's going to have domino effect for many, many other cities. Hopefully we'll get to states, and then eventually it's going to get to different countries. But I said, let's just work with this. How can we help people in our community to read more books like this to become a better person and have that paradigm shift? So to me, it's not, you know, having this old grand scale, let me see how many people can check out my post. No, man, one person. If you can change one person's mindset per day, we did our job. That's really, really good. We did our job.
Man, dude, that's exactly what it is. And you know, I mean, so many people they fall into this paradigm where obviously, I mean, intentions are good, but because they are striving for greatness, which is at macro level, they then shrivel up and they get in the sense of inactivity, because it's a sense of awe, because where they are right now, it seems it's perceived as inachievable to them. So that's why that's the wisdom behind thinking global and acting local. So have a grand scheme, but start with the simple steps, man. And you know, that's what, you know, the great philosophers of Asia said as well. You know, I forgot the man's name, but you know, every step is, you know, a journey of 1,000 miles that starts with a single step. And that's what it is. It's just doing our part. And you know, I'm glad that you brought this up, because this is what drives me. And you know, and for most people, it's not the monetary you know, reward. I mean, that's the side effect of it. It's more about impact
of you doing the right thing. If you keep doing the right thing, the money is gonna come. You don't have to worry about that. And it's so funny that you mentioned that. Listen, this book, the content is old school. It's nothing new. It's old school. That's why a lot of people are not listening to it, because it's not sexy. Because it calls you out on your bullshit. Now you gotta go to work. We don't make this. How do I make $100,000 in 30 days? That's not the title of the book. It's not sexy. It's a Think and Grow Rich. It's old school. Old school stuff works. It's been time tested in the history past one century now. Almost 100 years. It's been time tested. That's why when a lot of people are looking at these new books, and they're like, no. Old school, man. Old school stuff works.
Of course, man. But you know what? It's like anything in the world. I mean, everything has its source, and everything has its inspiration from something. And so all of these new school kind of self-help and stuff, like, you know, that's all in essence from this. But the dangerous aspect of it is some of them has become so watered down and so wish-washy, where so many people lose its proper sincere message. And that is to really understand the components of success, what brings success to one's life, what you know, how do we utilize our passions, our drives. For example, the sex drive, for, you know, faith and desire. You know, how do we utilize these and mold these, use them as instruments, and then let the stems and the roots flourish, and you know, through persistence, for these principles of persistence, decision, organized planning, mastermind groups. These are the stems and the you know, leaves or the flowers, as you say, as they flourish. But the root of it is, you know, the subconscious mind. It's the belief, and it's understanding the connection to God as well. And that's where we get our ideas from. And then that's then how we then, you know, work on to then make our dreams a reality and achieving it. So, I mean,
I agree with that.
Yeah, I love this book. But also,
I love it. So here, what I want to do. Oh, which book is that? Oh, Outweighing the Devil. That's another one. That's a good one, man. I haven't started my series on that one yet. It's a project of mine that we will do it. But we're working on a couple other things that we got some deadlines we gotta meet with some of the stuff. But Sohail, I want to thank you so much for spending this time with us today. I appreciate you taking this time. I'm definitely looking out for your post that's gonna have a lot of Napoleon Hill's quotes in it and promoting his work. I know it's coming, and I'm looking forward to it. I appreciate you taking this time and being with us.
Thank you, man. And for everybody watching, feel free to follow us, and there'll be loads of brilliant content coming up. So stay tuned.
Done deal. Thank you so much, brother. Talk to you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.